Hello, good day everyone. This is a lecture video on natural law theory. I made this video in order to discuss this topic because we were not able to meet face to face in our class due to conflicting schedules and prior commitments. Now, so without further ado, let us now proceed. But before we go deep into the topic itself, let us have a brief recap so that we can contrast this lesson to the lessons we already discussed prior. No, so everything started, if you can still recall, the chapter 3 started with utilitarianism, in which it is described as outcome-based or a consequentialist type of moral framework, which means to say that morality in this framework is assessed by looking at the outcome or the results of the action. No, so you already know that. After utilitarianism, we also discussed Kantian ethics, in which it is clear that it is a deontological moral framework, meaning to say deontology, coming from the Greek word deontos, which means duty. Doing good is about performing your duty to uphold the moral law. Now, as to what the moral law is, to find that, we can utilize the categorical imperative of Immanuel Kant, from which there are two formula, starting with universal and then respect for person. And then lastly or thirdly, we also discussed about Aristotle's Nicomachean ethics, and we described that as character-based ethics, meaning to say doing good, it's not just about being concerned with the action itself. You must be concerned of the character involved in the action. So in this type of morality, you are concerned of whether the act will help produce a virtuous or excellent character. If the act cannot produce a virtuous character, then that act will produce a vicious character instead, making it immoral. So I believe that is already clear with us. The moral framework that we will be tackling for this video, I argue, is a purpose-driven type of morality, meaning to say it looks into the purpose of the object of the act in assessing the morality of the action. But before we get into that, before we get into detail, let us first look at who is the major proponent for this moral framework. So for this moral framework, we have Saint Thomas Aquinas. He is the philosopher for today. We'll not go deep into who Saint Thomas Aquinas is. I just want you to look at the name and the title that this philosopher has in his name. As you can see, he is a saint, and as a saint, of course, you believe in God. Now, if you believe in God, then most likely you also believe in divine command theory. You believe that God is the moral lawgiver. So if you believe that there is a creator, you believe that this creator created everything. That includes morality itself. So it is not shocking if you think of Saint Thomas Aquinas as a kind of person who would believe in divine command theory. But yes, initially he may have interest in the theory, but later on he criticized the theory itself. He criticized the theory because he said, if God's command, if the good is commanded by God and the command came down to us and it is written in the sacred scripture, in our holy texts, Saint Thomas Aquinas saw a problem of how will other people access those commands. What about those people who live in far-flung places, those people who live in isolated islands, for example? Those type of people, how will they have access of the good? How will they have access of the command? Alam naman natin na may mga tribu, for example, na very territorial sila. Nandun lang sila sa isang isla, hindi nila hinahayaan na may makapasok sa isla nila. Every time na may gustong pumasok, they shoo them away. So those type of people will not be able to receive the command, will not be able to know what is the good. And so because of that, it will be very unfair. It will be very unfair to them. And at the same time, we cannot really say that they are at fault or they are morally wrong kasi nga, hindi nila alam ano yung mabuti, ano yung masama. Kasi hindi naman dumating sa kanila yung mga holy texts and sacred scriptures natin. No? So, ito yung major problem na nakita ni Saint Thomas Aquinas. No? So, his natural law theory wanted to resolve this kind of issue. So he resolved this issue by saying that, yes, God is the lawgiver, but to know the law, to know the good, you don't have to read any book. It's not necessary that there is a text for that. The good is already commanded by God. The good thing, however, is that the good is already within us. Meaning to say, we are embedded with the nature of goodness or the idea of the good. No, so you can imagine this as like meron tayong watermark, and our watermark tells that or marks as being or as having the idea of the good. No, so nasa kaloob-looban na natin yung idea of moral good. Kung naaalala niyo yung moral sense, that's an example of the moral good being within us. No, so we have an innate ability to assess what is good, so long as we use the gift provided to us by God Himself, no? We can access the good by using the gift of reason, no? So through reason, we can access the good, no? So long as you use your mind properly, no? So question is, how should you use your reason in order to know the good? No, so this is where the idea of purpose comes in. No, so to know the good is to know the purpose of everything. Now, it may sound familiar to you when we talk about purpose, diba, we talk about telos. Now, when we talk about telos and you believe that everything has a purpose, you believe in teleology. No, so that is a very Aristotelian worldview. And interestingly, actually, Saint Thomas Aquinas is an Aristotelian himself, no? Pero ang sabi ni Saint Thomas Aquinas, the nature of a thing lies in its purpose. So lahat ng bagay daw may purpose, at saka since lahat ng bagay may purpose, dapat lahat ng bagay pino-pursue or pino-promote or ina-align yung mga actions nila dun sa purpose na meron sila. Now, if yung isang bagay ginamit siya or let us say nag-act siya in a way that goes against his purpose, then that's the time nagiging immoral yung isang action. No, nagiging moral naman yung isang action pag yung mga actions mo ay nag-a-align sa purpose ng mga bagay-bagay. So, to make it more simple, the idea of natural law theory can be described into one sentence. The sentence goes like this. The morality of the act lies in whether the intention in doing the act aligns with the object of the act. No, so again, it is based on whether the intention of the act aligns with the purpose of the object of the act. No, so let's have an example for this para mas klaro sa lahat. Imagine, for example, diba, since everything has a purpose, that includes us, that includes everything, like tables, chairs, alam nyo na yan, may mga purpose yan lahat-lahat. Tapos, dapat i-align natin yung mga intentions natin sa kung anong purpose meron sila. So, for example, sa atin, as a person, diba, every human organ serves a purpose, no? So imagine, for example, let us say sexual reproductive organ. Our sexual reproductive organ serves a purpose. May purpose yung mga reproductive organ natin. And the purpose of reproductive organs is to reproduce. No, so if, for example, you utilize your organs, your genitals, with an intention not aligning with reproduction. So gagamitin mo siya not to reproduce, pero gagamitin mo siya, let us say, for pleasure, for convenience, as a utility. no? Ginagamit mo siya with no intention na makaanak, that makes the act immoral, no? So an example of that would be homosexuality, masturbation, um, prostitution. Those kinds of actions are immoral precisely because it goes against the very nature of your reproductive organ, no? So ganun ang natural law theory. Titignan mo yung titignan mo yung purpose nung object na involved sa action, tapos titignan mo kung na-follow ba ito or na-promote ba yung purpose niya. Kung na-go against tayo sa purpose niya, immoral yun. Kung na-promote naman natin, moral yun. Okay? Now, sometimes, the object of the act involves a human person. So that begs us the question, what then is the purpose of the human person so that we may be able to promote it? Now, interestingly, St. Thomas Aquinas declared the idea that our purpose lies in our inclinations. No, so God made us inclined to pursue our purpose. No, so to know our purpose is to know our inclinations. No, so ang inclinations daw natin as human beings is number one, we are inclined to self-preservation, meaning to say to protect ourselves. No, we are inclined to protect ourselves, to have survival instincts. No, so any act that will promote self-preservation is good. Like for example, taking care of yourself, saving another person, giving food to someone who needs it, charity, all those kinds of acts, they are good because they promote self-preservation. However, any act that will harm it, like for example, killing, stabbing, physical abuse, corruption, all those kinds of acts are bad because it harms self-preservation. The second inclination is our inclination to propagate our species. No, so we are inclined to give offspring and to continue our legacy, our lineage. No, so any act that will promote the propagation of species is good. No, however, you also have to balance it with self-preservation. So, for example, pag may family kayo, do not let us say, do not impede with the propagation of your species. So, pinagbabawal, for example, yung tawag dito, contraception, condoms, contraception, abortion, even infanticide. Those kinds of actions are bad because it harms the propagation of species. No? So, dito sa idea na to, contraception is immoral. No, so sir, since ipapromote natin yung propagation of species, dapat ba anak tayo ng anak? Hindi rin, no? Dapat i-balance din natin siya sa self-preservation. No, so bakit ka mag-aanak kung hindi mo naman kayang i-preserve yung mga buhay nila, no? So kailangan din merong balance between self-preservation and propagation of species. Thirdly, we have the natural inclination to form social relationship. No, so tayo mga tao, according to St. Thomas Aquinas and according to Aristotle also, we are social beings. Meaning to say, forming bonds is important not only to reach happiness, but it is important with a view to life itself. No, and since that is the case, 'di ba, kasi hindi naman natin kayang mag-survive on our own. Diba? For example, can you really live by yourself? You cannot. The clothes you wear are made by someone else. The bed you sleep on is maybe built by someone else. The phone you are using is built by someone else. You are safe now because of someone else. No, so everyone has to work together in order to build a good civilization, and in order for us to do other more important things like pursuing our personal career, our own personal glory, no? Kasi imagine if wala dyan yung ibang tao, ang dami natin kailangang isipin. Kailangan natin mag-isip saan tayo mag-hunt, kailangan natin mag-isip paano tayo kukuha ng damit, saan tayo titira, paano natin poprotektahan sarili natin, no? So, napakagulo if wala ang society. So, ang dapat gawin, dapat i-promote natin ang kahit anong nakakapag-develop ng society. So, that includes, for example, telling the truth, being good with your friend, not betraying them, treating other people with respect, no, not deceiving, not being malevolent to other people. No, so, lying, cheating, and those kinds of actions are bad based on this, since it destroys the social bonds we have with other people. No, and then lastly, we also have this inclination towards truth and knowledge. No, so this type of inclination is something we have that animals don't. No, so we should always promote the cultivation of our knowledge and our intellectual virtues. So, ito nga, sabi, same lang din sa idea kanina. You should tell the truth. You should not lie. You should not deceive people, because you are making them far from reaching the truth and knowledge. And this truth and knowledge is very important, especially truth and knowledge regarding to God. No, so every truth and every knowledge should lead us closer to God. That is according to Saint Thomas Aquinas. These 4 inclinations are now being utilized in order to assess the morality of the act. So any act that will promote these 4 is moral. Any act that will violate these 4 are immoral. However, there are times where we can actually go against these inclinations, so long as they are able to pass through the principle of double effect. No, so meron tayong tinatawag na principle of double effect, kung saan may mga times na violate natin yung mga inclinations na yon, pero okay lang kasi may napopromote din tayong iba. No, so let's have an example. Let us say just like the example I gave before. Let us say nasa covered walk ka, tapos biglang may lumapit sa'yo, tapos nang hold up siya. No, so before kanya nasaktan, no, you defended yourself. No, so upon defending yourself, let us say, no, so hinold up kanya, you defended yourself, and along the process, parang let us say na-harm mo siya. Let's imagine nasuntok mo, no, kasi nga dinepensahan mo sarili mo. So nasaktan mo siya. After niyang masaktan, umalis na siya, hindi na siya nang-hold up sa'yo. Tumigil na siya. Now, yung act of defending oneself, is that moral or immoral? Given na meron kang na-abuse, meron kang nasuntok, meron kang na-harm, no? May self-preservation or may preservation of life kang na-violate. Na-violate mo yung buhay ng isang tao. Moral lang ba yun? Or is it immoral? Now, using principle of double effect, we can say that is actually justified, or that is excused. No, so using double effect, we will know as to why that is the case. Okay, so para mas maintindihan natin, gamitin natin ang principle of double effect doon sa situation na yon. No, so ang principle of double effect may apat na principles yan. Unang-una, the act itself is good or morally neutral. No, so unang-una titingnan natin yung action mismo. Ano nga yung action? The act is self-defense, no? So the act of self-defense, is that good or morally neutral? We know that it is good, no? Defending yourself is actually good, and therefore na-satisfy natin yung first condition. Second condition is the intention is towards the good effect and not the bad effect. No, so this answers the question why you did it. No, bakit mo dinepensahan sarili mo? Dinepensahan mo ba sarili mo kasi gusto mong maging safe ka, or dinepensahan mo yung sarili mo kasi gusto mong makasakit? No, so if your intention is towards the good effect, dinepensahan mo sarili mo kasi gusto mong safe ka, therefore na-satisfy natin yung second condition. The third condition is the good effect is achieved by the act and not by the bad effect. No? So, this answers the question, bakit mayroong good effect? No, nagkaroon ba ng good effect dahil sa ginawa mo or nagkaroon ng good effect dahil sa naging masamang kapalit? No, so basically ang question dito is bakit mo na save yung sarili mo? Na save mo ba sarili mo dahil nakasakit ka or na save mo yung sarili mo dahil dinepensahan mo sarili mo? No, so between the two, which is which? No, so alam naman natin na naging safe ka because nadepensahan mo sarili mo, hindi dahil sa nakasakit ka. Na yung fact na nakasakit ka, it is just an unintended byproduct of doing the action. Okay? So, we are able to satisfy the third condition, and then the fourth condition, the good effect far outweighs the bad effect. So, meaning to say, alin yung mas matimbang? Yung na-save mo, yung buhay mo, or yung life nung perpetrator or nung criminal? Of course, yung buhay mo. Kasi ikaw, inosente ka naman, no? Whereas yung criminal, di ba, criminal yun, meron siyang balak gawin, no? So, buti na lang dahil sa pagsave mo sa sarili mo, hindi niya nagawa yung mga masamang balak niya sana. No? So, nasatisfy din natin ang fourth condition. No? So, ganun lang naman gamitin yung principle of double effect. And just remember that the principle of double effect is important because it allows us to see whether or not certain bad effects are justifiable given certain conditions. Ang conditions nito is yung 4 na principles na sinabi natin kanina. So, try to, while you are watching this, you can look at this thoroughly and then try to assess the morality behind the act of changing the direction using the principle of double effect. No? Kaya ba nating i-justify yung change ng direction, pag-sacrifice ng isang tao using the principle of double effect, no? Ano yung magiging morality sa act na yun, no? So, hopefully nakatulong ang video na to. You can do your own analysis of how this works at the comfort of your own home, at your own convenience. So, that would be all for this video. Thank you very much. Goodbye, everyone.